First of all, cross over to the Safari Park Hotel, where Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i, together with more than 54 education ministers, have converged there for a conference to discuss matters education. And because he's currently addressing the conference, let's first of all cross over.
Education Summit held in London last July. Kenya rallied world leaders through the Kenyatta Declaration to commit to increased domestic education spending. Leaders recognized that domestic financing is and will remain the most significant and sustainable form of funding for education. And heads of state pledged to maintain or increase education spending to at least 20% of the total public expenditure. I am proud to confirm to you that Kenya has honored that commitment and allocates about 25% of its budget to education. High-performing education systems recognize the quality of school system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. Top-performing schools systems attract the strongest principals to the toughest schools and the most talented teachers to the most challenging classrooms. These systems also give national recognition to the critical role of teachers and reward strong performers. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to challenge you as education ministers to harness the Commonwealth of knowledge and experiences to more strategically build capacity and broaden the skills of our teachers through programs such as training arrangements, knowledge exchange, as well as exchange of lecturers and students. We have witnessed the value of such arrangements in Kenya. The research partnership program between the Kenya Medical Research Institute and the University of Oxford, for example, has been hugely successful in producing world-class scientific innovations, nurturing scientists and expanding research capacity. We need many more such partnerships amongst ourselves to reduce the widening gap between rich and poor nations. It does not augur well for shared global prosperity and stability when the best global universities, quote unquote, as ranked in the US News database, are predominantly Western universities. Partnerships, arrangements of research sharing, such as Rwanda has with the Carnegie Mellon University, provide a useful model for reducing the gap between the rich and the poor countries. In a similar vein, Commonwealth Ministers of Education should be alarmed to note that by 2050, Korea and Japan will be enrolling 80% or more of their high school graduates to higher education, while countries such as the Central African Republic and Niger will be struggling to reach 5% enrollment in higher education. These are critical issues that should be central to your deliberations this week. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to posit that the Commonwealth, in all respects, given its resources, experience, and structure, is actually in some way, especially in the education sector, a sleeping giant. I invite you to seize this unprecedented moment in history and wake this giant up. You can do so by recognizing that your role as education ministers is no longer to simply keep the sector on track. You need to fundamentally recognize that you are the people who will reorganize the sector, re-engineer it, and reimagine it boldly and creatively. Make education a catalyst for releasing the full potential of the 2.5 billion inhabitants of the Commonwealth, which will in turn enable the organization to realize its promise of shared goals of prosperity, democracy, and peace, increase its global bunch. I am confident that education ministers participating in this conference have the capacity and the political will and support to lead the broad-based education transformation that we speak about from the front. As I conclude my remarks, I wish to thank all of you once again for taking time to attend this important meeting and for choosing to be in Kenya at this point in time. For those of you who are here, I wish you fruitful deliberations, safe travel back home after the conference, and I would also like to take this opportunity to extend an invitation to all of you to visit and enjoy Kenya's rich tourist attractions in Nairobi. It is now my distinct honor and pleasure to declare the 21st Conference of the Commonwealth Education Ministers officially open. Thank you.